faces. Monsters come in different shapes and sizes. God, nowhere else to be. Small voices singing, set me free. Set me free. You said you hope to die. You've crossed my heart now too many times. I'd stick a needle in your eye, but I'm too shy.
Good evening. Welcome to a new installment of Darkness Eternal, Midnight Rush. I'm your humble storyteller, Fabian Lele, here to guide your players and you, the viewer, through the peculiar world you've come to know here at Bed House. Before we get started, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Hero Forge, for supporting us in telling this riveting tale, Overcoming Despair. Hero Forge offers fully customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of parts to choose from. From fantasy to sci-fi, Hero Forge has you covered. Visit heroforge.com to start designing your custom mini today, and check back often as new content is added. We also like to remind you that we will feature and cover some dark and heavy themes discussed and agreed upon by the cast and myself during a session 0. You can find content warnings in the chat and video description. Now let's meet our hunters.
Hey everybody, I'm Ambrose. I go by any all pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Adrian Waters, photographer for weddings. Not exactly what he wants to be, but is having a hard time finding work currently for reasons that may or may not be their fault. Who knows? But yeah, that's Adrian.
Hi guys, I'm Laurel. My pronouns are she, they. I'm Laurel everywhere on the internet, or Laurel Rothamel. That's my full name. I'm playing Tinny, which is short for tincture. And Tinny is just a little guy. She's doing her best. She's kind of a mechanic who's trying to shove her way into the world because she doesn't really have a place in it yet. So, yeah.
Hello, I'm Stelluna on Twitch, Stelluna TV on all other social media. Today I will be playing Coralie. Coralie is basically a rebel trying to start being a rebel, has essentially lived a life of coloring in the lines and has only recently started to realize what happens when you don't color in the lines anymore. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
The least. I am Josephine, at Scary Dog Friend, co-producer over here at Bad House RPG. I will be playing Chanyeol Huang, the unluckiest man alive, who may or may not have blown it big time recently, and getting fired is like hard to say when like you're usually a freelance person, but got fired. So we're doing a little glitter. We're trying to figure it out. We'll find out.
It's 2024. Feels like the universe continues to play the most ridiculous string of pranks on all of us. Our government funding wars only to turn away and say, nuh-uh. Failed assassination attempt. A billionaire single-handedly dismantling a beloved social media site. And a job market so bad that you're considered lucky to have been ghosted after one round of interviews. It only gets worse for our 4 hunters. The Metro North is a luxury compared to the 100-degree stations of the MTA. It's unfortunate that it only runs through the edges of the boroughs. Adrian, after a pleasant trip up to Stanford, how are you feeling? Did you dress up for the gig?
Yeah, definitely dressed up. Very dark skin, dark brown, light brown eyes. twists. Some of them, the tips are dyed blonde, bleached. Decided to wear a blazer, a really nice polo shirt underneath, and slacks with dress shoes. Has his camera around his neck, as well as any switch outs for lenses, a bag for that. Kind of made for travel, so personal for that. Um, and currently feeling kind of drained just because travel, but like this isn't any new thing, right? Like this is just part of the gig. You go where you need to. Currently doesn't have a car because who has a car in New York City when there's this wonderful public transportation that we all use wonderfully that works even on the weekends. Sarcasm. But yeah, so stepping out on the station, a little drained. Probably gonna get some coffee before heading out. Yeah.
You look at the clock at the station, clearly stating it is 7:15. Call time is 8:30. Wedding's supposed to start at 9. You have a lot of time. You grab your coffee. That's another $5 from your account. You take, fortunately, a car to the venue. Another maybe $25. And you get there. It's this lavish place. Outside garden, kind of like a manor of sorts. You see a lot of people are arriving, a lot of the guests. And then, in front of you, very dark colored skin, hair neatly hairsprayed and tied into a bun. You see very nice power suit, very white with the red accents. With them on their side is also a huge camera bag, a stroller. This person's familiar to you. Amy Sanders, another photographer. You do recall you were the only photographer on the itinerary.
Hey, Amy, what are you doing here?
Oh, Adrian. Hey, I'm surprised that you're here.
Why wouldn't I be? I was called to update with the client yesterday and wasn't made aware there was going to be another photographer here. Granted, I understand full coverage totally, but two different styles clashing, that's not really a thing
Oh,
most people do. But when you have money like that, that does make sense. So,
yeah, I don't, did Courtney not, Courtney told me they will email you last night.
no.
Uh, yeah, so they kind of changed their mind direction.
Okay.
Yeah,
Elaborate.
well, it's,
Like literally looks down at his hands and like cracks
well,
them.
me and Courtney go way back, and, I kind of, unfortunately, they weren't really aware of your last job, and I thought it would be very, very unprofessional of me to not tell them the things that I know.
You thought that that was unprofessional for you to bring your business into my business and make it everyone's business. That's what you thought was professional. That was a professional thing to do.
Oh, well, I think it's professional that they get a quality photographer that will do whatever they want.
Quality photographer. That's what you think you are.
Oh,
Interesting.
well,
Isn't your specialty just portraits? Isn't that your thing? Backdrops, green screens, and then maybe putting any background you want. I thought that was headshots is your thing. Why are you're breaking into wedding photography? I didn't know that. I wish I knew. We could have like had a conversation and discussed things like two grown ass adults, but instead you went behind my back and took my job. Where's Courtney? I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like walks past her. Like walks past her.
And as your voice is elevating, Courtney hears the commotion, and along with a rather tall, masculine, very big man in a suit, they walk over. Adrian, hey, I thought I. And she looks at her tablet. Oh shit. Hey Adrian, I am so sorry. There was just a change in plans, and I thought I was able to.
No, I came because my job is to make sure that you have the best day possible, to come on time, well before. Uh, so I
Yes, I know, I understand. It's just some things came to light, and
what thing came to light?
well, there was this video, and you were just. It was just not a good look, and the bride thought it might be better off to go with a different person. And I'm very sorry. I know. I mean,
Okay,
I can call you a car if
I would appreciate that. I would. I would appreciate that.
it's the least I can do. I am so sorry.
It's okay. Like takes a really big deep breath. It's okay. If you have a different vision that you want for your day, and Amy can provide that for you, because apparently you both go way back. Friends make sense versus someone you don't know. I get it. I'll take my leave. I hope that your pictures come out wonderful and that your day is gorgeous, because that's all that really matters at the end of the day, really, Courtney.
Thank you. I'm so touched that you feel that way. Thank you so much, Adrian. I was really afraid that this would be seen. But you know, it's fine. Let me call you a car. Honestly, while you wait, let me get you a cocktail or something. I know it's morning, but
Nah, it's okay. I prefer to. The travel was long. I'd rather not even be somewhat tipsy on the way back. So, enjoy your day.
you too. And as you walk away, wait for your car. A malicious giggle as you hear in the back as Amy walks into the venue.
I take my phone out because I definitely have her Instagram handle, and I do know how to contact her. What was her ex's name again?
Prabha.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yes. So, not necessarily ex, but they were friends. Very close. Had a lot of collaborations with each other.
So I take the most recent picture of Prabha with someone that they're currently dating, because it was a really quick turnaround. You know how it is. Super happy, super joyful. Like it's like was it like a slideshow with multiple pictures of going on a trip or something like that. Since Prabha blocked her in the first place, she probably couldn't be able to see this. So I'm going to make sure that she does. And I screenshot each one, send it in a message, and then along with it.
And as you screenshot it, you notice it is in a dimly lit bar, and it's kind of an entourage of people, and you notice that they are very chummy with this one guy, blonde hair, curtain bangs, very well dressed, very boxy features, very high cheekbones, and piercing like blue eyes, almost gray. And you notice in the background there is one figure there that has like kind of like a distorted
Ooh.
face.
Interesting.
It's very hard to see, but as a photographer, your eye is very keen to it.
Kind of like raise an eyebrow at it, because I can imagine that this kind of distortion isn't exactly normal. Like you can probably say like maybe it got blurred or something, but that's not quite what's happening. Raise an eyebrow at it and like note it for later. But currently wrathful right now. So take those pictures,
Yes.
compile it, put it together, and I send it with the note. I guess God don't like ugly, huh? And send it.
And as you send it, a few minutes later, you look at your phone, and the notification that the user cannot be found as you have been blocked by the user.
That makes sense. Like is what he says to the air. Like, ooh, okay, all right.
And
Puts my phone away.
as your car arrives, another text comes. A notification drops down from your phone. It's from Vanessa. Hey, no rush. You think about the camera we talked about? Also, good luck at the gig. Tinny. The city streets are bustling with that New York traffic. Tourist strolls and influencers heading to a long line for the hottest pop-up kimchi quesadilla spot in downtown. But at the corner of Lafayette and East 4th, we find Tinny. In front of the registration desk. Tuition is due. That's a high number. NYU is not a cheap school. How are you feeling? How you looking?
Tinny usually looks a little messed up. She's got frizzy hair and she doesn't seem to brush it very often, so there's, braids and tangles and she puts her hair in buns to try to make it look like there's something going on, but she doesn't know what she's doing. Okay. And she's looking at this and she's kind of squeezing her face like, oh, that's okay, Tinny. That's okay, Tinnifer. That's okay, Tincture. We can figure something out. I mean, we always have. So, she looks at the woman at the register desk and she says, how much time do I have to get back to you on this?
About a week. And clicking and clacking as the tension builds, you hear her pipe up. Looks like you also got denied for financial aid, so I was going to suggest, and I'm so sorry.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm sure your parents can help you out.
Yeah. I'm sure they could. Tinny kind of leans into her. She leans into her and she says, I appreciate the sentiment, but at the end of the day, you don't know what anybody else is going through. Okay? I'll be back in a week. She kind of itches her nose.
Fantastic. All right. Next.
I think the first thing Tinny thinks is to call Coralie, but she is getting her phone out. She kind of looks at it, and the battery's already at like 2% because it always is. She just kind of shakes her head and she says, nah, I can do this myself. I can do this myself.
As you're talking to yourself a little loud, out loud, you see a young man kind of like step beside you, looking like they also just had to take care of their registration, but it looks like they had much better time, kind of. You know them as an older student here, probably a junior. They're the president of the K-pop fan club. So you've had some run-ins with them before. Very nice guy. It's Aaron. Aaron, Vietnamese, very dark hair, trans mask, very very short, about 5 foot tall. They walk up to you and it's like, Tinny, right?
Eric, this is not our first time meeting.
Aaron.
Oh, right. Aaron.
No, it's fine. Super easy mistake to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So how's the K-pop club going?
Good. You remember Aaron is very popular on TikTok, and they recently just came home from South Korea, which is kind of weird because the show that they went to was 2 days ago.
Wow.
Very jet setter life.
How are you already back? I was just watching your TikToks the other day and you were hanging out in Seoul.
Yeah, just overnight flight. It's just,
Wow.
gotta do it for the fandom, right? But no, how are you doing? You look a little down.
No, you're goofy. You looking at me thinking that I'm down. Nah, I was just listening to a sad song. These headphones are always playing something. Gotta listen to the music, the soundtrack of my own life. Yeah, no, sad.
Okay. Look, you and your roommate seem like pretty cool people, and like you guys come by from time to time. Like, if you need a person to talk to,
Yeah, if Coralie needs a person to talk to, I will let her know that you are right there. And and congratulations on.
you know what? I'm sorry for. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm sure, like, I don't know, partner maybe would be there for you or something. I don't know.
Partner. Well, just because I have a Texas accent doesn't mean I'm a cowboy.
Oh no, I just don't assume what you. I'm putting my foot in my mouth. Look. I just wanted to check in.
Well, consider me checked. And Tinny is so confused, has no idea what just happened, and just turns around, does one of these, and escapes.
Okay, as you escape, they try to shout out one more time, but unfortunately, you're already around the corner. And with the last percent of your battery keeps your phone alive, you get a text.
Who's that?
You look at it, and it just says Sky, and it's a picture of a QR code. And then the next text that comes in, Lost Boys matinee. Then the next text comes in, and it says, "Let me know if you want popcorn."
She responds, "Extra butter." That's my favorite.
and they send you back a popcorn emoji. I assume you're meeting up with
Yeah,
Sky.
she heads straight there.
All right. As you head over to the Angelica Theater and Cafe, it's only a few stops away. You get there, and you're greeted by very tall. Compared to Aaron, this guy's very tall. He's 6'2", kind of like bleached blonde hair, really thick artsy glasses, very flamboyant and colorful shirt. You see that on his left arm he has a film roll tattoo around his arm. Very thin, very gangly if you ask him how to describe himself. Just waiting for you with a bucket of popcorn. Like, hey, I'm glad you made it.
Sky! Oh, you coming in clutch. Look at you. And she grabs the popcorn and she sticks her tongue in it to pick the popcorn out with her tongue. Oh my God. I've had the worst day ever. But how did you know?
Oh.
Lost Boys is one of my favorite movies.
Oh, well, I don't know. You like I gave it a guess, you know? But yeah, like we just kind of, I found it lying around in the back and I asked my boss like, hey, we should show this. He said yes. Yeah. So,
I cannot wait.
and
Wait.
as you're walking, yes.
She looks at Sky and she looks him up and down and she says, "Is that the shirt that I thrifted the other day?"
Yeah. It took a little bit of cleaning, but yeah,
It looks good on you.
like brand new. Thanks. A little blush comes onto his face. So shall we?
Let's do it.
As you're walking to the theater, he asks like, said you had a rough day?
Oh, okay. So you know that, you know Coralie, and how when it comes to money, she's like, I'll just call daddy, and she's, you know, and and you know that I don't have a daddy to call. So, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, it's one of those things, you know? Why is NYU gotta be so expensive?
I hear you. I got you. Okay. Yeah, that sucks. I'm very sorry. I wish there was something I could do to help.
Nah. We just watch our movies. This is what you do to help. And that's enough. I'll figure it out. I always do. You know me.
And he pauses quite longer than he should, and he just looks at you with a half smile, half kind of pity. And then it turns into just a full smile. It's like, hey, this is going to be a little under 2 hours of just forgetting about anything, right?
My favorite way to spend any time ever.
And as you walk into the dark theater, the movie starts a little further downtown, but a hop and stop away. Eclectic scenery of the Lower East Side all but swallows Coralie. Down at the Chai, you signed up for an early brush brunch. Instructor is one of your faves, Casey Marrero. As you're waiting for Casey to walk in, you get a text. Well, not really a text, an email notification. Lease agreement is the subject.
Coralie looks a bit out of place where she sat here in the workshop waiting for Casey. They don't look like everyone else where they've taken off their bags and settled in and started conversations. She's sort of keeping to herself towards one end of the table, away from chatter as much as she can. Someone tries talking to her, but she doesn't even look up from her phone as she just opens it up.
You open it up, and it reads, "Greetings, tenant. We will be, unfortunately, increasing your rent, and it's about $1,000 more. There's a lot of jargon. I feel like everything just goes back to $1,000.
Without any reservation, Coralie says out loud, "Fuck."
Fuck what? And a voice comes behind you.
Coralie doesn't even look up. She slams her phone down on the table and stares at the table in front of her very awkwardly.
And in front of you, person takes a seat. Very funky haircut, a bright red beret, punk rock t-shirt, leather pants, and kind of stylish pumps. Just sits in front of you, and it's Casey. You want to tell me what's going on? Everything okay?
Hey, Casey. No, it's not your business.
Okay. Little spicy this morning. But hey, really glad you're here. Sorry I'm late. We'll be starting shortly, okay? You look at the place and it's not super packed. And she goes to the back, leaves her bag, and she starts talking to a person behind the counter. You're looking at them and you're noticing that Casey is dropped the gleeful kind of personality and kind of has the look of concern. All of a sudden you hear, but like, what do you mean they're closing us down? And she looks around and she kind of pulls the person behind the counter a little ways to a back place, like behind a curtain where they have like some of the drinks and some of the stock for the cafe and the kind of the art area.
Coralie looks around at everyone else to see if they're reacting at all. They're probably not. They're probably embroiled in their own conversations, starting to open the workbooks.
Yeah, some of the people there, you would see one couple that's obviously on a first date. You see an old lady that just is looking outside the window, enjoying a mimosa. They look like they live around the corner, no care in the world. And some people, like you said, just embroiled in their own shit.
Coralie looks even more uncomfortable. She's fidgeting around with a pen, clicking it over and over and over again, looking in the direction that Casey went, looking over at the others. She's concerned, but she doesn't want to engage with anyone here. She doesn't want to talk to them. She doesn't want them to ask questions. She doesn't give a fuck about any of these people. But she does keep anxiously looking over and over, see if Casey comes back.
And Casey comes back and says, "All right, thanks for waiting, guys. I'm so sorry that I'm late. Let's start the brush brunch." And starts facilitating, but definitely you see that there's something bothering them and weighing them down.
Casey, did that person say this place is going to get shut down?
She kind of gestures you to tone it down a little bit, and she sits in front of you and says, "Yeah, it's really unfortunate." And she starts painting in front of you, with you. "Yeah, well, you know how it is, New York City. They want to buy this place out and kind of turn the block into like one of those condos, you know. And we can't really afford to stay around, unfortunately. So
As Casey gets closer and just settles in next to Coralie, her brushstrokes are more shaky, less confident. They're never good to begin with, but her hands are getting sweaty.
she notices that you're getting a little shaky. And she kind of holds your hand. "Hey, I know it's upsetting, but we'll be fine."
Coralie snaps her hand away. Doesn't even look at Casey. "Well, that's fucked up. Like, y'all have been here for a long time. Like, it's important what you're doing here. I mean, where the fuck am I gonna hang out if on?
Well, I mean, if you give me your number, I can let you know if there's any update if we move to a different location. And she puts her phone on the table.
I don't have a phone.
You were just looking at your phone when I got here.
Painting aggressively.
It's fine. Hey.
Brush is breaking.
And she takes her phone. It's fine. Look. And she goes to the back, goes to her bag. She walks, change her mind, and she puts a card on the table.
Well, yeah. Sort of Coralie just slides her phone and the card and just whatever and just shoves it into her bag. Yeah. Fucking sucks. Really like this place.
I know. She starts to walk away and she turns around and is like, I hope you sort whatever that thing was earlier. I must suck and I'm here for you. And turns around and helps the couple. You finish your lesson, the brunch. Did you drink?
No, Coralie doesn't like drinking. She doesn't have anything against it, but it's just expensive, especially after the incident. But Coralie looks at her painting and it's just a mess. It's not even artistic. It's just pure frustration taken out onto a physical medium. It's not pretty. It's not like, rage embodied. It's just a fucking bunch of paint smashed onto a canvas. She hates it.
And it's fine.
She's holding it in both hands.
You're walking out. You're hating your painting. You get another text.
Fuck, what is it now?
It says, Mom, can we please meet up? It's not too late. You can always re-enroll. I'm sure your father would reconsider if you did.
Coralie doesn't answer. Coralie leaves it on red and shoves their phone away.
And before you get to shove your phone away, there is another text that says, long after the first one was sent, about a good 3 minutes. Love you. No punctuation. No affectation. No nothing. Just love you.
Still no response. Coralie just shoves it away.
And as a bus passes, from the depths of your slumber, Yeol, while dreaming of a time left in the past, the loud horn of a Toyota Prius outside your window shakes your senses awake.
Please. Stop.
Muffled arguments are happening outside, and the sun is hitting your eyes in a way that is not pleasant. Strewn around the room, you see empty wrappers of whatever it is you take. Go look for your cigarette. You found one. It's a little bent.
It'll have to do.
You light it, and it tastes bitter. But you think it's not the cigarette. It's a little bit of bile from whatever happened last night. What do you do? What do you look like?
Chanyeol is a definitely sorry sight at the moment. Kind of like mid-length hair, a little greasy at the ends, little bit of stubble kind of poking out, wearing the clothes that he was wearing last night, although we're just gonna pretend that last night didn't exist as far as he's concerned. Maybe it's still yesterday's date. Maybe he can just try it all over again. But like he brushes off like at least a can or two of like a beer that he brought to his like floor mattress, and just like groggily feeling awful, just to, like tries to put on a new shirt, at least fell asleep with jeans, and just rises feeling the blood rush back and trying to distribute all throughout his body, and just finally steps out of his room.
As you step out of your room, music is playing. Across from the apartment, from your room, is the bathroom, and the water is running and a few giggles are heard as the door is completely open. As you're walking, you see a note, a letter. It says new lease agreement. It also has an address that's not yours. An address, well, the address is about a few blocks away, and the name...
Whose name?
The name just says Lee Covey and Callie May. You open it up a little bit more and you see that the dotted line is signed by both of them, with that little stamp the notary puts on.
I think before they finish their shower, before they see me just fully sliding open the envelope or the paper or whatever, I just try to like put it back however I found it.
As you're trying to put it back, it's not quite a shower. You remember Lee saying that they always wanted to bleach their hair, and it looks like today was the day. Callie runs out to get some supplies and sees you standing as you almost put back the contract, the lease, the way that you found it. Hey. Tanya. Good. Looks at the clock. It's about 2 p.m. Afternoon. Lee. And you hear the water turn off. And with his hair wrapped in a towel. Yeah, what's up? Oh. You hear Callie pipe up. I thought you talked to him already. I can't. It's not easy. Just look at him.
And I think Chanyel does like have to laugh. But like the blood, that flush that rushes to his face is like almost like quarter to a half tears. Yeah, you know, I haven't really been up or around when you've been around, Lee. I'm sure it's been hard to catch me.
No, it's just you know how these things are. It's just hard for me to have this conversation. Callie then pipes up like, look, Lee and I, Chanyel, you know Lee and I have been together for a while, and if you...
Since high school?
Yeah, and if you were out of your bender sooner, you would have known that 2 nights ago. And she holds up her hand as you see an engagement ring.
I look up at Lee like, that already.
I was gonna tell you, but every time I saw you, you were just passed out, or you were in the tub one time. I was trying to tell you, but
Oh, fuck. Holy shit.
look, I know it's rough with the breakup and the unemployment, but we eventually want to have a place of our own, and Collie and I decided if we didn't sign a lease, then we might not have that in the future. We'll just... Collie just interrupts. I say this with best intentions, and know I love you. But if we didn't sign that lease, we'd all be together until we're 50. And I don't think a marriage like that would work.
Yeah, that's no. I'm hearing you. You don't want Uncle Freeloader around.
I never said anything like that.
Hey, listen. I know. You and Lee have had to help me out a lot since coming around here. And I haven't been forthcoming about lots of stuff. It's, you know, I get it. And I'm really sorry. Okay? Hey, congratulations, you guys. And like as they're trying to like placate, I have not been looking at them this entire time. Face, ears so red. I'm like trying to find my wallet. Like I like actively, it's like on the floor somewhere, and like picking up my house keys. And I'm just, my body is leaving.
You find your wallet dragging behind you on a chain that is attached to your waist.
Shit. This chain's not mine. And I'm like still just talking through this, but like I'm like almost at the door.
And you're almost at the door, and Lee just blurts out, "Look, we talked to your sister, and they're willing to help you
What?
out. We talked to your sister, and she's willing to help you out. Look, I didn't know what else to do. At least it wasn't your parents, right?"
Eyes just well. And wordlessly, not knowing how to process that they still had contact with his sister, who he's not even in contact with. But again, they've been friends since that long. It makes sense. But he cannot handle it. And he just leaves the apartment.
As you leave the apartment, you start hearing sobbing, not from Kali, but from Lee. As you're walking down the 5 floors of this walk-up, you get a text. It's Ruby.
I like immediately, like the earth just like feels like it's like shattering all around him. Like one of his knees almost like gives in before he meets like the last stair, and very like shakily.
You read it, and it says, "Yo," with an exclamation mark. Another text comes in. "Amy swipe Adrian's gig. Legit as he got here. It's a mess."
I text back, holy shit. Like wiping tears, making it now Adrian his new business, like putting all of his energy into Adrian now. Do you need me to check on Adrian?
That would be great. Also, I'm still looking for gigs for you. I'll let you know if I find anything.
Thanks. I'm sorry. Again, sorry.
And just like a teddy bear emoji.
Okay. As I am still going down all the flights of stairs, I'm gonna call Adrian.
Adrian, you just arrived back Grand Central Station. You get a phone call. You see it's Chanyeol.
Fucking Amy.
Fucking Amy. First thing that he says as like walking out of the station, like eyes rolled up to the sky, as like just kind of leisurely walking in a direction, doesn't even know where they're going yet. I don't know what the fuck I did to piss her off, but
Listen, I feel like we definitely all had a vibe about her, right? Like, definitely.
from the get-go, from the moment
Yeah,
that bitch opened her mouth, we all knew.
And
But we,
in a way that you're just kind of like, I don't want to be like a sexist or something.
I don't
like,
want to be
just,
an
like,
asshole,
I have to,
because that's just
yeah,
fucking rude.
like, but I have to say something to somebody, at least in like private or something.
yeah, and like, sometimes you just get vibes, but like that's not founded. Like, what the fuck,
It's
like
right.
you can't do that. But then she literally leaked the issue I had with, you remember the bride Phoebe that I had an issue
Oh yeah,
with?
obviously.
Yeah,
Obviously. Fuck
leaked
her
that
too.
to this bride, like showed it to her, because of course it's her business to know
Of
that
course.
Bridezilla's gonna Bridezilla, whatever. Changed her mind. They're friends. They go way back. Kind of.
I'm so fucking sorry, dude. Hey, I'm out of the house right now.
Hmm.
I know. It's before 5 p.m. Good for me. Do you want to hit that new place? There's like something. Let's go out to eat,
Yeah.
right?
I could use a drink. To be honest, like I know I normally don't, but fuck it, I don't give a shit. Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
All right. See you there. I'll pin it and
Word.
then it hangs up.
As you discuss, one place comes to mind. It's Oma Jib. One place that you know that you can get the cheapest food, especially with Chanyeol there. The cheapest drinks. And it should be empty as fuck. Coralie, where did you go after?
I found the closest trash can, put my painting into the trash can, and then just began walking. Probably found a nearby park or something and sat down, just muttering, fuck, 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 underneath my breath as I'm moving along, sort of moving, shouldering past people, not making eye contact, just minding my own business, head down. Once I get to the park, Coralie's just looking around, watching people.
Tinny. The movie's over. It was, as you remember it, favorite movie. Still good all these years. And Sky says, "Hey, I really enjoy these. Would you wanna maybe um uh
Sky, why are you sweating?
it's a little, is it not a little hot here?" And they get, unfortunately, interrupted by their boss. Give me a second.
Tinny tries to make herself as small as possible and kind of like hide, because she knows she's not supposed to be in the projection room.
And he goes to the boss. Don't really hear what they're talking about. He's just scratching his head and kind of like looking down. You've never seen a tall person look so small. And he comes over. He's like, "Hey, one of the concessioners had to call out sick, and they saw us come out of the projection booth, and I kind of have to make it up to my boss. And look, I wanna hang out more, but yeah."
Nah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Listen, I know that you're sticking your neck out so that I can watch these movies for free. So you do what you gotta do. And she kind of like gets on her tiptoes and like pats his head. And she says, "And I'll be back for the next one."
And you hear the boss is like, "Sky, come on!"
And that scares Tinny a little bit. And she scatters off. Bye!
And as you scatter off, what do you do?
Well, I'm checking my phone. I did have it plugged in during the movie because Sky always has a charger for me. I don't know why he's always so thoughtful. Anyway, but I'm gonna...
Has everything you need, apparently.
Yeah, it's so weird, and I never have to ask for any of it. It's so weird. So I'm gonna call Coralie.
Coralie, your phone rings as you're sitting in the park.
Hello.
Coralie! Where the heck are you?
At the park. Why?
The park? That sounds way too fun for you. Are you hungry?
Of course I'm hungry. I'm always hungry.
Ain't that the truth? Me too. You wanna go try out that place that's got them kimchi pancakes?
Yeah. Hey, look, I've got some bad news, but maybe it's better I just deliver it in person. So I'll be there in about 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Coralie.
As two of you head over to meet, you see this long line stretching around the block to this pop-up kimchi quesadilla place. And
Oh, it's quesadillas, not pancakes.
And you notice the regular spot that you go to is not that far.
Hey, Tinny. There's a lot of people here. I really don't feel like waiting outside.
Yeah, I knew that you didn't like waiting in lines real bad, but come on, I mean, we always do the same thing. And Tinny kind of like shuffles her feet and like plays with her outfit and looks up at Coralie and goes, "Yeah, okay, fine. We can go to our regular place."
Coralie standing next to you looks like a corpse, like not fidgeting at all, just like deadpan, looking down at you over the tip of their nose. All right, yeah. And just kind of turns off, beginning to walk away from this pop-up place.
Tinny catches up with you and shoves her arm around your arm so that we're going arm in arm, and she's kind of skipping.
Coralie rolls her eyes, but definitely like leans into you and keeps the arms linked together.
Adrian and Chanyeol, you get to this restaurant. It's normally empty, but it's packed. You see about a block away a line goes around, and then you see the tiny Ajuma just running around serving people.
The fuck? Like, isn't this like is something going on? It's never this busy. Ever.
I go over like to like maybe like either an open window or like something equally as invasive, and I just yell inside in Korean, "Why is it so busy?"
And you hear from the older lady from the top of her lungs just yell out, "I don't know. It's been like this since this morning."
So, like, looks between the two, and lays an app out. Just goes to their phone and like looks up if there's anything in the New York City area that would constitute a whole bunch of people, like a convention or like a.
It's because of the kimchi quesadilla, right?
You're looking at it, and it seems like that is the case.
Oh.
You're looking around, and it's filled with self-proclaimed bloggers taking pictures of the traditional dishes.
God fucking damn it. And Chanyeol just like points at someone who's actively like live and is just like, "Fuck you."
But the Ajumma just grabs you by the arm. It's like, "No, I have a table for you."
What? Seriously?
Yeah. And you see one in the corner next to the counter. There's like 4 seats. But like it's a big enough table for you.
I like fully don't know this woman's name or anything, but I just like too familiarly, because I'm basically her son. I've been here like 10
Yeah.
times, more than that. I just like, I'm like so tall compared to her, and I just like hug her like from the side and like kiss her on the head.
And she
And then
hugs
I
you
just-
back.
Yeah, she like probably butt pats me. Like it's a whole thing, Adrian. And then I'm like, well, we have a fucking table. VIP in this place.
And she nods at you. It's like, go. Just ushers you to the table. She brings like a menu for you, Adrian. It's funny because it's all in Korean, so she's like, "You got it." And she runs to the back and turns around and in her hands looks at Chanyeol with a big bottle of soju.
I say in like English and Korean to like try and like quickly between Adrian and the Ajumma. This is what an angel looks like in Korea.
Thank you, Angel. I say like back at her.
And she starts laughing. She turns around, and at the entrance, Tinny and Coralie, you guys see the same sight. This empty place that normally is all to yourself.
Tinny's mouth is dropped to the floor, and she kind of looks at Coralie, and then she smells the food, and she says,
It smells amazing.
"I'm so hungry."
And you see the little Ajumma just run up to you, Coralie, and kind of like pats your cheeks. What's wrong? What's wrong, baby?
Today is the worst day ever. Why are there so many people?
I think it's because of that thing that's happening over there, and people don't want to wait in line, so they just came in here. But it's good for business.
That's so good for you.
Yeah.
I think Adrian, like Chanyeol looks over to you and like sees Coralie, who is definitely familiar to Chanyeol just by like Korean people living in the same area. And like it's a thing. And without really consulting you, Adrian, Chanyeol, there's like he has maybe he's wearing blush or something. Like maybe there's just like a weird like overcompensating confidence thing he has going on. But like he like pours soju for the two of us, or for the both of us, and then clocking Coralie, he kind of like yells out like, "Oh, Nuna, come over here."
No, Coralie looks from the Ajumma and then looks over at Chanyeol. Just kind of mutters, "Who the fuck is that? I don't know who that is."
I literally start pushing her. I'm like, "I know what Nuna means. I know what that means. Let's go. Let's go."
All right, damn.
And then the Ajumma just like pulls you. It's like, yeah, just share a table. They're also regulars.
All right, fine.
I want to eat so bad. Let's sit down.
Fine, I'm hungry too.
And the Ajumma pinches Tinny's cheek. I know what to get for you. And she just like goes around and starts to go back into the kitchen.
Coralie will sit down opposite from Chanyeol's side. That way, you can kind of next to Adrian to kind of look at you. Go, what the fuck?
Chanyeol goes over to where the shot glasses are. Like, just for some reason, it like maybe like worked here at some point. It's right next to us. And like I just grab 2 clean shot glasses and I pour for Coralie as well as Tinny.
Tinny looks at everybody because she sees Coralie staring you down. And she looks, this is Coralie. She's a little rough around the edges, but I swear you'll like her once you hang out with her at least 5 times. And I'm Tinny. My real name's Tincher, but my enemies call me Tinnifer. Don't call me Tinnifer. So... And she goes, that was a joke. You're allowed to laugh.
Okay. Just kind of like Tinny, then. Right. I'm Adrian. Nice to meet you. And this is Chanyeol.
And this is Soju.
Nice to meet you.
Everyone has shot glasses.
You look older than me.
I'm pretty sure you're older than me. That's what I call you, Nuna. So,
I think you're wrong.
do you wanna?
Just kind of takes a shot glass.
Aren't you supposed to be like not pointing out people's ages, especially femme people?
Fuck, I'm sexist. Let's fucking do it. Just like rolls sleeves up. I also like grab a menu. Like I'm just fully doing all the like waitering that needs to happen. And I just kind of like leave it as like a spread for everyone to like pick and choose like what they want. I got us covered today. So whatever the table wants.
Tinny grabs the lid. Tinny grabs the lid of the soju and she starts flicking at. You guys ever played this game before? Okay.
You sure, bud?
Yeah.
As you're saying that, Coralie like pulls up their phone and is texting Tinny. It just says like in all lowercase, not even any punctuation, just terrible grammar. Order extra shit. Let's get leftovers.
And Tinny responds out loud. She looks at you and she goes, way ahead of you. And she cracks her knuckles and she points at 3 different things on the menu and she says, this is my favorite, this is Coralie's favorite, and this will be the table's favorite.
Let's go. Are we feeling, let's do like a stir-fried spicy octopus. We are not getting the quesadilla. I mean, that's next door, whatever. And like, he just like starts bringing out like noodle dishes, like the Chinese, Korean, like food. Like we're gonna have tung Adrian, what do you want?
I just stare at you because, and I'm not sure if this is a roll or not, but I'm thinking that you're trying a little too hard for things, even from the get-go. So I'm worried about you, and I'm just like staring at you long enough, and then like slowly raising one of like my just recently waxed eyebrows. It's just like, you know what I like. I trust you.
Okay.
Tinny takes her fists on the table and she goes, seafood pancake, seafood pancake, seafood pancake.
We'll get like 2 of those, yeah. And for the audience member, Chanyeol is gonna use his rent money. Oh, goodbye, cigarette. And just like all of this from memory, just is yelling out to that same Ajuma, like all this information.
Yeah, and the Ajima just retains it and starts cooking.
Coralie just knocks back the shot and then just expectantly holds it out towards Chanyeol with one hand. Then realizing what they're doing, uses 2 hands.
So, the fucking influencers, huh, guys?
And you hear an influencer say the address of the place.
No, it's not. It's not.
I hate this. This is awful.
I swear to fuck.
And they look at you and they just completely ignore, and they whisper, it's like, let's just do the take outside.
They're closing tomorrow. Don't come.
And as the food is coming out to you guys,
We get the seafood pancakes immediately.
So Tinny's one of those people that if there's an awkward silence, she fills it with unnecessary info dumping. So no one has asked her a question. She has just been telling everybody about, since we were talking about influencers, she's talking about what she's learned from the TikTok algorithm just from having TikTok for about a month. So she's like, but what they don't get is if they're not actually constantly posting, then they're not ever going to get sent to the For You page. And she's like shoving seafood pancake in her mouth, and she's saying it was food in her mouth.
As Tinny's like essentially saying this in general, there's like a look of like just straight up taking everything in, because I would say Adrian is used to this from their sister, like talking their ear off about literally everything and anything, and they are actively like absorbing it, nodding, pouring shots of soju, and then like if Chanyeol's not doing it, Adrian's doing it, and just kind of like doing that. I was like, yeah. I don't know about algorithms, but that sounds very interesting. Actually, very interesting.
speaking of your sister, Adrian, you get a text, and it's a link to a camera that your sister believes might be a little cheaper, but still is super expensive. Your sister is saying, this will help me through the whole AV club.
Oh, and I pick it up and I stop. It's like one of those gradual like nodding, and then slowly turning to my phone as it pings, and then looking, and then you can kind of see his face like fall, because I really want to get this for her, because like that's what she wants, and I would have been able to if I had done this gig, and I have no idea how to break it to her.
The rest of the table seems to notice this.
Yeah, as you're looking at your phone, Coralie is actively, as info dumping is happening, just putting food onto Tinny's plate for them. Basically, like reaching over, just putting constant food in front of them. What's wrong?
What do you mean?
Your face changed. Something's wrong.
Wow. So people just say that to people, like, hey, your face changed. What's up? I can't get my sister what she needs for college. So, because this gig would have done that.
Do you need help with it?
What?
Do you need help with it?
With what? Getting the camera? No. I mean, like, are you offering? Because...
Yeah. Ruby's got me like I got some stuff coming in this week.
I appreciate that, man, but like you don't have to do that. I'm gonna see if I can figure anything out this week, and if I still need the help, I'll reach out to you. But
Yeah. Just let me know.
Tinny's looking back and forth at the two of you. And she goes, I get the sense that somebody's lying. And I think, and here's the thing. The economy, the way that it is right now, that shit, it could step in horse poo for all I care. Okay? Because, and then she starts like getting really emotional, and she kind of like rises up from her seat like she's telling a speech, and she goes, the world was not made for the little people like us. And I don't know much about much. I don't know much about much. And also, you guys don't know this, but Coralie knows this. Tinny's limit with soju is 2 glasses. She's had 4.
Yeah.
So she stands up and she goes, I don't know much about much, but what I will say is that it shouldn't be hard to live and eat and go to school.
she stands up, I just look up at her. Like, oh, jeez.
Hey, Tinny, maybe you should sit down.
So true. So true.
And she kind of sits down and she goes, yeah, you right. I got a little overzealous.
Speaking about money, our rent went up, Tinny.
Wait, Tinny looks at Coralie and she goes, wait, Coralie, what are you not telling me? Because what about your dad? Wasn't he paying for it anyway?
Chugs. Oh, I've been paying for it the last 2 months.
Wait, what happened?
I quit school.
Coralie! What do you mean you quit school? She peeks up at Coralie.
I flipped off my professor and I walked out. I haven't been back.
Okay. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We don't need to go to school. You wanna know why? I have gotten this far without even high school credits. They don't even know anything real about me. I got into NYU from, just doing a little bit of me. So, you're gonna get what you need for your sister.
What?
For her schooling. And you and I, and she points at Coralie, we're gonna figure out how to pay rent. And she looks at Chanyeol and she goes, and I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, but we'll figure that out too. High five.
There's nothing wrong with it. What? Yeah. What are you? I don't know what you guys are talking about. We're having.
Yeah, what's good with you, man? Like, something happened today. Your eyes are puffy, and you haven't looked like you've been doing good.
Hey, I was hungover yesterday.
It looks like you've been, like, crying for a little bit before you even got here. Could have been that you were high, and that's totally understandable, because you are an emotional drunk. You do, like, cry when you are gone. But I don't think that's what happened, bud. You want to try again?
Yeah, same. I got, trouble in roommate paradise. Rent is lease, whatever. Stuff's. My roommates got engaged.
Wait, but that's great news.
It's great news, exactly. But they were like, Chanyeol, you gotta find your own place, like blah blah blah. And like, I get it, right? So I'll get my own place. We're getting it figured out. We have things scheduled and whatever.
And you said you were gonna pay for K barbecue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I'm good. I'll cover it. Don't worry.
You hear from the next table over. Sorry to interrupt you guys, but you guys say you needed you guys having a little financial troubles?
Were you eavesdropping? Cause it's kind of rude. And Tinny does not realize how loud she is.
Yeah, and he points that out. It's kind of hard not to eavesdrop when you guys are a little up here.
What does he look like?
African American. He has like a very tight beanie on, like those like small beanies just covering the top of their heads. Hoodie, kind of like all denim. Looks dressed up looking expensive as hell. You see he has a lot of jewelry. He has like a gold chain, just like a simple gold chain, hanging from his neck. Look, how about I pay for you guys' meal?
I'm already paying for it, dude.
Take it, Chanyeol.
I insist. I insist. Matter of fact, and he calls over the ajumma and in Korean orders more soju for the table. Look, I was in your position in like a while back. And you notice that you're looking at the table that he's with. He's with a bunch of people that kind of don't really know each other but are just hanging out. It's like, maybe I can help you guys out, you know, pay it forward and shit.
This sounds like one of them strings attached.
No strings attached. Hey, I'll tell you all the info. You don't have to see me ever again.
That's almost more concerning.
I mean, you don't have to, but you could. I can leave you my number after that.
Okay.
Okay, we can talk.
Yeah. Look, I wasn't like this. I was just in the same situation, you know, having trouble paying rent. And, you know, running streets ain't for everybody. Definitely ain't for me. But I found this thing. It's a new startup thing. It's very, very legit. It's very simple. You just have to clean up. It's like a task app. You just have to clean up after people. You get a message. You show up. You clean up, and they're taking cleaners right now. So no, a maid service is kind of like extra, but this one is simply just clean up and get out.
I turn over to Tinny, who's sitting next to me. Isn't there like on true crime TikTok, isn't there something about like cleaners that come in that are like unregulated or whatever? Like, you think it's one of those things?
Well, I wasn't thinking that far in advance, if I'm so for real, because if the pay's the pay.
You know what? He hears that and he takes out his phone. He opens up his bank app and he shows you the basically pay stubs of transactions coming into him. Same from Cleaner, Cleanr, and a string of numbers you can assume is the account numbers.
What's the frequency? Like weekly, daily? Like
it's like sometimes it's once or twice a week. The frequency is pretty regular. And he says, look, you get paid after the job. That's it. And you see the first paycheck he got, $6,000, $3,000, $4,000.
Holy shit.
for being a house cleaner?
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily houses per se, but it's not a hard job. In and out in like maybe 3 hours tops.
Tinny looks at Coralie and looks back at the phone. I have never seen this many numbers at once with a dollar sign in front of it.
So you dress like this and you're a house cleaner?
Well, I don't dress like this when I clean, but this is my civilian clothes, if you know what I mean.
Sure. Like just that's the rate.
Well, it depends. It depends. If you get sometimes I get like, and he scrolls past, one whole week he gets 5 checks. He made $25,000 in a week.
What's the angle here? Like just clean, nothing else. Like,
Well, the angle here is you keep quiet about the app because they're not ready to launch yet. But
was it stealth mode or some shit?
not necessarily. Just
don't be influencers about it.
exactly. The reason why I'm talking to you about it is because a friend of mine works for the company and told me you need a little bit more cleaners. So I'm here doing some scouting and points over to the rest of the table.
Do they need identification for cleaners?
Yeah,
How official does that identification need to be?
like a real ID, maybe?
Yeah, I've got a real ID.
A regular ID. You know, hey, honestly, as long as you have an ID per se, you'll be fine.
This looks like bullshit to me. I don't know.
Tinny rubs her nose and looks at Coralie really briefly and then looks again at that number and she puts her hand out. I'm in.
All right. He takes out a card. He shakes your hand. Takes out a card with a QR code. Just scan that. It'll bring you to the app. Sign up on it. And you should get a gig in like a day or two. You can also, these places are big sometimes. You can sign up as a group.
Scans it.
Like makes a face, is like scanning it, looking at it. I'm assuming it pulls up like the app page.
It pulls up the app page. It's kind of like it's not an app page, but it's kind of like a tester. So you go into the tester and you install the app through that tester.
Tinny's kind of leaning over at Coralie and also showing her what she's looking at. She's like, I don't know, Coralie, we don't have to do it a bunch. We just do as much as we need to get by.
At this point, Coralie's just been kind of like just taking shots, and as the time has passed, she's become more and more quiet, just crossing their arms, just spreading the legs, just sitting back. And at the point where everyone's looking at their phones, she pulls out her phone and holds it an inch from her face, struggling to read it. And she goes to pull up the lease agreement, the email that she got, to see how long they have until they have to pay the increased rent.
About a month.
Fuck.
And as you're scrolling through the app, it just shows like the places, like the Google Maps image of like the place, and it's mostly like just regular like buildings or houses.
Is it that thing where there's some cross-reference to like... Does it look like, for the most part, reputable because of like the app's relationship to certain reviewers or like companies? Like, is there anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are certain reviews.
Like I feel like one of them is just like the Google Maps images of like Google headquarters like in New York or something or whatever. Like,
no,
it's just stuff like that.
There is like a legit, like, you see, so WTI Pharmaceuticals and bioengineering, which Tinny, you would know this as like a really legitimate company.
Oh, I've definitely heard of them before. Their names are on a lot of the equipment that I've used at the lab at NYU.
Sure about this?
No. No, but what choice do we have? Girl.
Look, think about it, and I got you. And kind of like goes to the Ajima and just like pays for your table.
I think Adrian is like looking at their phone. I think that they would, I don't know if this has technically already been done, but looking into any kind of review or even like some form of like, hey, has anyone said anything about this app? Does it actually exist? Especially if it's not in the Google store or the iOS store, because it's like, hey.
Roll me the first roll of the game.
Oh, roll. Oh my god.
Roll me intelligence and technology. And I need you to get an amount of about 5 successes.
1619. Everything else is fine.
All right. Can't really find anything, but based on the reviews they have on the app,
Seems legit. And I look up at Chanyeol. Like, this would pay rent just in a week. A few bits of rent, to be honest. What do you think?
I could maybe stay in my current apartment. That would be fucking sick. I mean, I was already gonna do it. At least just try it out. Like, if y'all wanted me to like try out a job and like see if I'd get killed or not or something, I can totally do that. But I'm pretty much about to do it right now, so.
Raises an eyebrow, looks down at it again, having that unsettling feeling you could tell across their face, but what's the worst that could happen? Just one gig, maybe two, will do its job, and then we're good, right?
Tinny grabs Coralie's hands, both of them, and she looks at Coralie in the eyes and she goes, Coralie, you know that I don't have any other options. I don't have anyone to rely on. I don't have a choice. And wouldn't it be a fun little adventure for us to do this together? And if it sucks, we can just quit.
Or all four of us. Just like hops into their like little like side thing.
Tinny removes one hand from Coralie's hand and touches Changyol.
Just massive side eye here. Fine. I don't want you to go by yourself anyway.
She does a little jig. She's like, yeah, I knew you'd do it if I did it. Let's go.
I think we just sit here and like, as we're eating all the food that we just got for free, we register together.
And what you look at the app, it acts as if it's just a rideshare app. You can turn on when you're looking for jobs, and you can turn it off.
Oh, okay. So it is based off of preference of like, hey, I just need these 2 gigs, close it when I'm done. Never come back again if I
Exactly.
don't want to. Okay.
The registration was easy. You take a photo with the app of your ID, put in some information, your account information, and at the end of it, it says, welcome to Cleaner. There was a package as you signed up of cleaning materials, but most importantly, a box that says open in case emergency for each one of you. A box that is about 7 by 6 inches in dimension.
Open it. What the fuck?
It was a Glock 19.
Oh God.
I think Coralie and Tinny might have been in their respective rooms in their apartment, but when Tinny opens that shit, she runs into the other room with the Glock in her hand. She goes, what the fuck?
Did we all just get guns for this cleaning job?
Smash cut. A notification sound hits your phone.
Coralie, did you get that too?
Fuck. Yeah, I did.
You guys end up at an address in Bushwick. Around Bushwick, a lot of warehouses, a lot of businesses needing cleaning. In front of you is a huge warehouse. It is quite dilapidated, a lot of graffiti on the side. You're at a street that doesn't have a lot of foot traffic, but it's not that far away from the train. It's about 5 blocks. You guys meet each other, see each other. You guys are messaged full cleanup. And at the bottom, it says, videotape needed Dropbox, and it's another address.
Videotape of videotape like our job? Like, is that we're are we cleaning for fucking crime? Like is all they say.
Oh, this is crime shit, guys. This is mob shit.
Maybe it's just porn.
Maybe it's just porn. And Tinny's like, what, and sex workers should be paid better anyway, Right? All right, it's just porn. And she's like, accepted that that's the reality.
You get to the entrance, and in this steel sliding door, kind of like a gate, there's a lock there, and while it's locked, there is a key inside for you to easily just open up.
I think Tinny leads the charge and unlocks the door and walks right in.
You unlock the door and you slide the gate open. It's quite dark. It's damp. Tinny, with your history, what would you say that you are familiar with a lot of chemical smells?
I think it depends on the chemical. I've been around lots of machines, but not necessarily like science chemicals.
It's very rust-like smell, but it's not of like old machines. If anything, the strong smell of oil from probably maintenance of machines, you can smell it. It's kind of familiar.
It smells like. Oh, it smells like we're going to be dealing with some tech here. Honestly, smells like my home in Texas. I guess. So like. It seems as though there is probably some machinery that we will be dealing with, and it's gonna be relatively new and slash or has been improved upon or repaired recently. And then she kind of licks her finger and puts it up like she's sniffing the weather. And as far as I can tell, the weather has not had anything to do with this smell.
As you guys are walking, Coralie, you notice something stick to your boot.
I stop, reach down, and get up.
It's kind of like a piece of paper. You pick it up and it looks like the outside of a matchbook. It's kind of like a sticker that you would stick on the back of a matchbook. It's completely black. In the middle, there are 3 concentric circles and a snake. And you look down, and there's a lot of pieces of paper like that scattered around the floor. Drips of water echo in the distance. It's still dark. Chanyol, near a pillar, you see a switch.
I hit it.
At the switch, and the lights turn on. The bright, blinding, fluorescent flash from lights above show you what looks to be a lab.
Drugs?
It looks like it.
Okay, Tinny, she's full mechanic mode right now. And she always has like a little head lantern so she can see real close. And she's got her like magnifying glasses on. And she's like, we're going to be real careful here because we do not know what these chemicals are. And then very haphazardly, she starts looking through the chemicals.
You start looking through the chemicals, and it's not really chemicals per se. It's like everyday objects, everyday materials. Kind of like you see like vanilla extract, you see flour, you see things, and then you see a printer, and there's a bunch of sticker paper to the side.
Do I know what this is?
Chanyol, you are familiar with this. This is glitter.
No fucking way.
For everybody, if anybody wants to do a wits and streetwise check, can you roll that for me, please? And I need you to get a result of 3 successes. A success is 6 and above on a D10. So, Tinny, for you roll 3 dice, and you need to get 3 successes.
I only got 1 success.
I got 4. Got 4.
All right. Adrian, you know what glitter is. A lot of your friends, maybe acquaintances in the art scene, photography scene, makeup scene, have been taking this It's a known drug to make you feel beautiful, like vibrant, fills you with vigor, but the crash down is very hard. Chanyol, you know how hard a person can crash from this.
I probably have glitter on me right now.
Yeah. What kind of sticker do you have on your person?
The first thing that came to mind is just tits.
Okay. You have a sticker of tits on your neck.
Glitter? This is what a glitter lab looks like? Yeah, like it looks like fucking flour, sugar, and shit. They're making cookies. What is this?
Tinny leans over to Coralie and she's like, What is glitter? What's that?
It's a drug. It's a drug.
Drugs? Drugs? I thought we were doing porn.
Coralie would like to look over the various things here. She's pretty good at puzzles and just kind of general critical thinking.
Okay.
Just trying to like put together some of these pieces.
If you could roll me wits and investigation so I know what information to give you.
Okay. So that's going to be a 60-10 there.
Hell yeah. I need you to roll 3 successes for me.
Okay. I rolled 2 10s, a 6, and a 7.
4. Fantastic.
Damn.
It's amazing. So you look around, you see that it's everyday material. But you notice, you hear a hum. And you follow the hum and you get to a refrigeration unit.
Hear that? I open it.
You open it and it's a fridge filled with blood bags.
Fuck.
Tinny is close behind Coralie and is looking over her shoulder. And she turns around to the boys and she goes, So, y'all remember how I told you about my favorite movie, Lost Boys? This is giving Lost Boys. Because who else consumes blood? This is a refrigerator. I know Chanyol's got soju in his fridge. Vampires have blood in theirs.
Okay, all right, hold on. Blood? Like, what do you mean? Like, in jars and...
There is about 34 bags of blood.
Maybe they sell... Let's not jump ahead. It could just be like they give blood bags to people. Like, like if they are making drugs, they...
Coralie will reach in to look at one of the bags and say, might need a lot of blood to keep organs alive.
I guess so, but like it looks like they're cooking in here.
Tinny's brain is going because all she does is consume films, and that's her world. And she's like, this is beyond True Blood. This is beyond Twilight. This is Lost Boys. This is bad. This is not porn, and this is not drugs. This is bad.
That's hot sauce.
You're hung up on the porn pit. We were past that when we entered the room, but looks over her shoulder. Is that like markings on each bag, like in terms of what type of blood or like if it's from somebody?
Everything has been redacted. You do see several hospital logos, different, various ones, not necessarily only one, and all of the information has been redacted.
Yo.
So as a medical student, I think I'd be really aware of just like the names of the hospitals nearby, and I would be able to tell a lot about it. Maybe.
Yeah. There are no hospitals with those logos nearby. Everything is like, Mount Sinai, Langone, everything, away from where you are right now.
Yeah, I'll kind of shove it into Chanyeol's hands. This shit's from the Upper East Side. This is not anywhere near here.
What am I gonna do with this?
Maybe they're holding it until they sell on the black market. Kind of situation.
I could be wrong, but what I've seen on the true crime TikToks is that blood doesn't last that long. So if you need it for medical issues, you can't just store it for a long time. And there's a lot of bags in here, y'all. So are we supposed to clean this up? Or are we supposed to clean that up?
I go back to the app and see if it says like what exactly are we cleaning.
It looks as if there is a checklist that is given to you. Equipment, trash. So the equipment that they mean is light equipment, like beakers, like all the things on a desk, trash. Nothing says anything about blood bags or a fridge.
I start taking a lot of pictures.
And Tinny's like, quit that.
What?
We can't have any proof that we were here, Coralie. You got to delete that off your phone right now.
Then she begins to delete all of the photos, and she yanks the blood bag out of Chanyeol's hands and puts it back into the fridge.
Tinny wipes all the handprints off with her gloves, and this is part of the reason she has these gloves, so she doesn't put her fingers on stuff, and she's wiping off everything on the refrigerator where anybody could have possibly touched. And she says, this was not here when we were here. Let's go.
Guys, I think we just do what we were told to clean, and then if we don't say anything about whatever else is going on, then we don't have to get involved.
Fuck. Fine. Gloves on.
And as you guys clean up the place, become spotless, you do a good job, and there's one more thing on the to-do list. To take the surveillance tape of the warehouse and drop it off at a location.
Oh, fuck. They're going to see us see the blood.
Both Adrian and Tinny, you guys are really good with tech. You look up at the cameras. They are not rolling.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
Okay. So they're not worried about us, but they're worried about whatever's been done in the place, I'm assuming. So they want it. Any proof of whatever happened.
Bet. All right.
In the area that we find the tapes, is there a TV?
Yes. So you go upstairs. There, it looks to be an office upstairs, overlooking what seems to be a lab. As you climb up, there is a TV.
Look at Tinny.
I know what you want me to do right now. I'm aware. Feeling real back and forth about this. I assume there's a keyboard connected to the TV.
Yep. Like a surveillance thing.
Tinny sits down and does what she knows to do, and she sighs. And it's like her eyes are closed. She's just like, and she makes it play.
Look, it's not going to hurt us to be well informed of what we're getting into.
It's pretty simple. As you play it, what is on the tape is a group of people working. You're noticing now that the blood is also being used for the drugs. The blood is being put into a beaker, taking drops of it. There are two sets of blood. Ones that are in the fridge, and some that look to be that are coming from people in the background. You notice that
They're drawing it from people?
No. Like some of the people cooking are cutting their hands open. and putting them, mixing them with the blood from the fridge and dropping it on the stickers.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And she's like pulling at Coralie's jacket, and she's like, I don't like this.
Coralie's info dumping about what a major biohazard this is and just dumping medical jargon.
As you are info dumping, all of a sudden the side of the tape kind of rubber bands as if the tape itself is, like the reader itself is being stretched by a magnet. And it does that for a good 2 to 3 minutes. And after the picture clears, all of the people that were in the video are dead.
Maybe they're busting these people and they just don't know about whatever the other black market blood shit is happening.
I'd stop the tape. I stop it, just like straight up stop it as soon as like we see like dead bodies.
And as you stop the tape, a rustling comes out after from behind you, Adrian, and grabs you from behind at the neck. A strange man comes out from a locker.
Oh, hell no.
With a fury tries to bite at you, Adrian. What is everybody doing?
I'm gonna backhand this motherfucker first of all, immediately. Like, I don't know if I could do anything, but I'm still gonna try.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Does Adrian make any sound?
Yelp. A big yelp. A very loud, sudden, surprised yelp, and a growl as if like immediately going to get into start fighting essentially.
Adrian, you do also notice that the grip was very weak.
Okay, so it's just surprised, still attacking me, but it's not as bad as it could be. So what do I roll to punch this guy or backhand this guy?
Strength and brawl?
Okay.
Were we sitting in the dark?
No, not in the dark.
2 10s.
2 10s?
So that's exploding things. So 10, 10, 2 10s. That's exploding, so that's a 4.
Yes. So that's 4 successes. I'm just gonna roll some dice right here.
Right? Oh, sick.
I rolled 3 successes. So you still win. Easily, you shove him off. The room is well lit with fluorescent light. The locker was just near the surveillance area and was within reach of Adrian as it happened. Chanyeol, you said you wanted to shoot this guy.
Yeah.
As he falls to the ground, roll me resolve in firearms.
2 successes.
2 successes. You hit him straight the temple.
Oh shit.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Fuck.
I don't.
Why are you pulling out guns immediately? You don't know who this guy is.
I don't know. Does he fall?
Yeah, he's bleeding out on the floor.
Tinny jumps up from her chair and she turns her light on like it's gonna light up the room anymore. And she's like, this is fucked. We were not supposed to do this.
Okay, everybody just wait.
I don't wait. I immediately drop down and then try to administer whatever kind of medical assistance I can. It's probably not gonna look great for this. I try. Coralie tries.
Your medical knowledge, pretty easy. This guy should be fucking dead. With the amount of blood, with the area that was shot.
This guy should be fucking dead.
Tinny is crying.
I'm trying to like stop the bleeding.
And he slaps your hand, jumps up, rushes, and jumps out the window of this office.
What did you say about the Lost Boys again?
Tinny is like silently crying, like there's no actual whimpers. It's just like her eyes are welled up and they're like the biggest you've ever seen them. And she's just staring at the window. And she just hears you. And she goes, "This is not good."
I take the glitter sticker off of my neck very like awkwardly and put it in my pocket.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. Just gonna finish the job. We're gonna get out of here. Get paid. Look. No one's gonna be able to catch that guy. Just finish what we started. Get out.
Tinny has kind of shut down and she's like shaking, but she's doing what she has to get it all done, but she's not.
Let's clean up this blood and
I have the tape. And she puts it in her bag and she goes, "Let's just fucking get this done with. I'm done. I want to leave."
I got the blood. Just someone.
I'm staying with you because I don't know what the fuck this is, but no one's going by themselves, okay?
The drop-off has been made. Cleanup has been done. At the end of the day, $6,000 falls into your account.
All I'm keeping track of is the weather, and there's no wind, no sun, nothing. 80 days and I'm not feeling better, but a sweet relief is finding me. There's no love under the portrait. Ain't got no loyalties, no one to please. I just got the clue. Rhythm more than ever leave, setting my soul free. Ain't got no loyalties, no one to please. I just got the clue. Rhythm more than ever leave, setting my soul free.